what's the ultimate sacrifice for mankind that mankind knows? It's God giving His own Son.
That's not a sacrifice, John.
Was that immoral of God to kill His own Son?
Okay, first of all, this idea that it was His own Son is absurd. It was supposedly, according to Christian doctrine, Himself. He was sacrificing Himself in human form to Himself. Oh, no, you got to hold. I'll let you talk again. How dare you say that this was a sacrifice? At least when Elvis died for my sins, he stayed dead. If you came to me tomorrow and said, hey, if you let us beat you and whip you and torture you and hang you up and kill you, I guarantee you we will end poverty in the world tomorrow, I'll do it. I will. If there's an absolute guarantee that that would be the outcome, I'll do it. You know, I'll go down just forever. I'll be famous forever for it. I mean, if you can come up with no better justification than empathy and compassion, fame, living forever as the guy who ended poverty. However, if you came to me and said, by the way, not only will we beat you and torture you and hang you up and kill you, but we'll raise you from the dead in 3 days and you get to be God, that's not a sacrifice. What exactly did God sacrifice?
He sacrificed His physical body. As He came down...
If He is the creator of everything, what is a physical body? What possible sacrifice could that be for Him? Couldn't He just make another one?
He could have picked anything.
How can that be a sacrifice? You're giving something up.
To me, though, that whole thing is just another testament to the immorality of this character Yahweh.
Yeah, that He needs a blood sacrifice.
Because the reality is, there was no requirement. First of all, there was no requirement for redemption. All right, that was an arbitrary thing. If God is all powerful, then He can say, "I'll accept or not accept."
There was a requirement by Jewish law.
Well,
so God is subject to Jewish law?
No, God created the law of parenthood, supposedly. The point is, if He's dictating this, then He's making the game. He's making these rules. So He's the one that says, hey, let's kill somebody. Let's torture them, and let's kill them, and let's slaughter a human being as recompense for all these guilty people so that they can then, be rewarded for their lives of guilt.
And the reason for that is because we took in the fruit of the tree.
No, but there's no reason for it. There is no reason for it.
Are you saying that it is impossible? Are you saying that it is impossible for God to just forgive without a blood sacrifice? God can't do that?
He does.
Can He do that?
He made, instead of making each one of us sacrifice, He made one for all.
My point is, there doesn't have to be any.
Can you answer any question straight, John? I tried to make them really easy. Are you saying, can God, if He wants to, just say, no blood sacrifice necessary, I forgive you for that?
If He wants to, but
then why doesn't He want to?
Listen, His character. It is His character of holiness.
I told you last week, His character is an ass, and that's the point.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that it's His character to demand a blood torture death, because that's what He did all through the Old Testament.
And it sounds good to Him.
The point is, it's not a character of holiness. That's a character of massive, sadistic cruelty. And if you have the right to make the rules of the game and you say, under my rules, we're going to slaughter animals for centuries and centuries and centuries, and then when it gets down to it, I'm just going to beat the hell out of a human being and then kill them in a horrific way, and that's my game. And you're saying this is the most moral God, this is the most moral being. It's like there couldn't be a more immoral setup for a game. And the biggest joke of all is that He created it all. So the condemnation is heaped upon a thing that He produced. And He made all the parameters so that whatever happens, He already knew it was going to happen. He even set the foundations of the universe. He saw this whole thing out. He knew exactly what you were going to do from the time you were born to the time you were going to die. Set this whole thing up, and then condemns you for doing exactly what He knew you were going to do, and then slaughters somebody to make up for that. It's the most messed up thing ever. And to call that moral and good, and to look at that and say, yeah, I can see the morality behind it. No, that's insanity. I don't even know what to call that. The fact that this religion could get people to call that love is a disgrace to human minds. I mean, I don't even know
It's exactly, you have demonstrated again this week exactly the point that I made last week. And that is that in bending over backwards to accept an immoral doctrine as moral, You have sacrificed your humanity. You have sacrificed your compassion. You have bought into absurdities and lies. You basically said that whatever God says goes. And when asked the fairly simple questions, you have to hem and haw over it, because somewhere down deep, you know that it's not morally right.